It's the task of the legislature to fix the rules surrounding where electioneering can take place, according to members of the Virgin Islands Board of Elections. The issue is a controversial topic that members sought to find a common ground on at this week's board meeting.
The statute should have been written to say 200 feet from where the voter gains access instead of the perimeter. They said when they first enacted it, they meant to say door, which would be where the voter has access, but they did not say that, and they have not changed it in 6 years. So it's not our prerogative to use a different assessment of whatever. And the private property has nothing to do with anything. Everybody gets dictated to by law what they can do with private property. You have to pay taxes, you can't cut down trees. There are many requirements that go along with private property. The issue is only that you be, and what happened at Arthur Richards was they were within 160 feet of the door, not the perimeter. And that's from, even though they were across the street, they were still, when I walked it, only 160 feet from the door. Nobody was trying to put them in Safarelli, which is where they would be if you talk about the perimeter, because the fence line takes up that whole property. But until they choose to change it, it's not for us to reinterpret the law or add wording to the law. There's nothing in the law about private property.
You can never show me in any law that tells me that I can restrict someone on the use of their private property. If the property falls that close, 10 feet away from the entrance or the perimeter of the polling voting center, if I am on my private property, I dare anybody to challenge me and say I cannot electioneer on my private property.
You can have a poster up on your private property because you're expressing your desire to vote. The reason that you have things against electioneering is so people are not intimidated. It has nothing to do with who wins or doesn't win or what party you're on. It's a consistent thing. Like I said, all they have to do is make the law say what they wanted it to say, which it does not. And so what you're suggesting is that if there was a house right next to Arthur Richards, somebody could be out there electioneering, which defeats the whole, that's BS.
That's your opinion.
Yeah, ask the AG. Instead of us interpreting it, why don't we ask the AG when we have an attorney? Ask the AG and let's stop the debate. Get an opinion from the AG so there's no arguments on election day.
At the end of the day, I just want to make sure we have consistency so that we're not telling people different things.
Ultimately, the board approved a motion put forward by BOE member Lisa Moorhead to have the Attorney General provide an opinion on the specifics of the statute. During Wednesday's meeting, it was also announced that new voting equipment had been purchased, which is expected to speed up the ballot counting process.
So yes, we did receive the equipment. It's a server with it's in fact 2 pieces of equipment, and the server is on St. Croix and one is on St. Thomas. I will look at the one that was installed here that just got over here today. We tested it on the 18th. ESNS was here. They tested it with some test data and it worked. What it is the uploading of the jump drives to the cloud and downloading the process. It was coming manually through a different way, but now this with the server, it got a ping and then it comes straight to the St. Croix office. So she can pull St. Croix, St. Thomas alternately as they come in and makes the process a lot easier once they label and identify.
Once information from voting centers is uploaded and tabulated, it will then be uploaded to the election system website for, quote, immediate dissemination. The board's chair noted that results would not be printed until all of the data were in. Canvassing of ballots takes place on November 10th, 2 days after the election, while November 18th has been set for finalizing outstanding ballots. Shortly thereafter, the board will sign off on certification sheets, and if necessary, a runoff election will take place on the 22nd of November.